Peterson News, KTO, WCCO.
A little too much.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader. Find them at Dickeys.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer with the forecast.
Expect a quiet night tonight. We'll see patchy fog form in a few areas once again, falling back to 67. Still a bit humid tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 83. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday. Now, a cold front comes through Thursday night. That will trigger some rain showers. Much less humid Friday and a very fall-like weekend with highs in the low 70s.
All right now we have a few clouds, 84 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Headlines that keep you informed. Conversations that keep you plugged in. News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
We will get into the story that's been lighting up the airwaves here this afternoon. You're really that mad if some politician that you know hates the mayor says F the mayor? I think the whole thing's a bunch of pearl-clutching nonsense to me, but we'll get into that in just a minute. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. It's Jason. I am back after really one of the biggest transitional weekends of my life. And I know it's a situation many of you have either gone through. Some of you as parents with younger children are horrified to even think that this moment may be coming for you. Taking my youngest child off to Los Angeles, off to the University of Southern California, dropping him off a little after noon on Saturday, and not seeing him again for the rest of the weekend. It's one of those parenting moments where when you go off to drop off the kid, and some of you have been doing this weekend, maybe at Iowa State, you've got the University of Minnesota. Those move-ins are next week for new freshmen. I don't know, as a dad and my wife, we have this idea that we're going to drop off Sam, but we're going to stick around. So we drop him off on Saturday. We're like, we're not going to leave until Monday because what if he needs something? Narrator, he did not need anything. It is sort of what you want as a parent. You want your kid to be independent. You want your kid to go off and do their thing. And you kind of want to be needed a little bit. Like, couldn't he have thrown us a bone and been like, you know what? I forgot paper towels. I don't know, just something like send me to the store to run some errand for him to say goodbye one more time. When you take a kid to college, you know that this is not goodbye forever. This is not Sam's moving to LA. We're never going to see him again. 2 years ago, we took Seth off to New York City. And I think that was harder. The youngest child going off to college was sort of this point where you say, oh, like we're doing that now. We're in that phase of parenting. And Seth going off to NYU in New York has been amazing. It's been amazing. He's been great. He's kept in touch with us. But so many things, and Alyssa and I were talking about all the things that change. You go from having an almost nightly check-in with your teenager to, if you're lucky, a weekly check-in. You go from sort of being able to have conversations and drive the relationship to all of it on their terms. it's not quite the same as post-graduation when somebody moves away and takes their job. At least I assume that. I don't know. Can my heart handle that transition again? I think so. What made this easier is that we had Seth with us. And don't tell Seth how helpful that was. Because after driving, Dan's immediately texting Seth. Seth doesn't go off to NYU until one week. So he flew out to LA to be with us. And so when we left Sam, it was a family. All of us were together. And Seth was still there. And so we hung out with Seth, and we hung out with Jamie Yukis and her husband and her stepson. And then we hung out with my friend Tom. And we had this weekend where it just felt like, it sort of still feels like Sam is just like on a summer trip with his buddy. When Seth's gone next week, I think reality will set in. When you're a parent, you want your kid to fly. You want to release your child into the world. And it's easier when I'm not talking about it. I mean, now that I talk about it, I feel the fact that in my house, in 1 week, it's going to be real quiet. One room that is always a mess is going to be empty. No one will be upstairs laughing loudly as they're playing a video game with a friend. And no one will be ripping on the other brother as we play pit or catchphrase or any of those things. Like any part of life, those transitions also come with opportunity, right? Like I think Alyssa and I already, we have a list of cities we want to visit in Minnesota and around the country. We today booked our flight to Chicago next month. So in a couple weeks, we're going to Chicago on a Wednesday, which is something that was sort of difficult to do when you have one kid playing sports. I mean, frankly, we have one kid who had a girlfriend. So did we want to leave for a couple of days? We did not. So we have that freedom now. We have that freedom now. It's emotional. It's emotional. It is a transition. As a parent, even somebody who like Alyssa and I have always had a very independent relationship, independent from our kids. So we existed as mom and dad, but we also existed as a couple. And I think that positions us well for this next phase. But also, who knows? You know, so many couples that struggle because they don't quite know, what do we do? What do we do next? All I know is like we try to prepare our kids to be adults, but I don't know that we prepare ourselves for what that all entails. I will say a week in LA or a weekend in LA, if Sam doesn't have to spend time in traffic, I don't know if we're ever going to get him back. I think the traffic is what helps us get Minnesota kids to come back because nobody wants to sit in that all the time. But it's a proud experience, and it's a little sad. It's a little sad too. So I know a lot of you guys have gone through this. Oh, Dan, you got to help me out. Dan tells me there are a lot of texts coming in. I'm not in our system yet.
Oh, okay. So one texter says, Jason, I dropped off 3, one at a military academy. A lot changing and sobering. The parenting challenge takes on a new twist. Parents need to up their game.
Oh, interesting. Because the
Life-changing.
questions are maybe the high school kid questions are not as impactful, perhaps.
Sure.
Interesting. Yeah, you're as a parent, you're less involved in the day-to-day,
Mhm.
but the stuff they come to you with is the big stuff.
It's bigger life stuff
Huh.
for sure.
Interesting.
Another texter says,
Does that make me feel better or worse? I don't know.
Well,
it's a little more pressure.
it's a challenge.
Yeah.
You present it with a challenge. As a parent.
That's good.
320 texter says, you're very fortunate. A lot of parents can't get their kids to move out because of financially,
Yeah.
because of other reasons, and they live with their parents into their 30s.
Well, we don't know where this is going, right?
Yet,
I got a college junior and a freshman. But
they're on a
yeah.
good trajectory at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Another
good.
texter says, my husband sobbed for 90 minutes after dropping off our daughter. She was fine, although did get the normal homesick, made us feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. So here was the real dagger, right? So on Sunday, I text Sam and say, how was night number 1? And the response, it was good. And that's it. And you're like,
Yep.
oh,
Buckle up.
Oh,
Buckle up.
Oh, man.
Another 320 texter says, Jason, as the parent of an only child starting his senior year and looking at colleges this summer, I know I'm not ready for what you're describing. Eek.
Yeah. I mean, if you can have a friend or somebody with you, it certainly takes the sting off a little bit. When we dropped Seth off, it was more dramatic. Like Seth walked off through Washington Square Park into the hustle and bustle that is New York City, never looking back. And we're watching like this closing scene out of a movie.
Yep.
Sam, we moved him in, then we went to lunch. It was like a little less dramatic, at least.
The first time I came home from going to college, and it was for a holiday or something like that, did the holiday, and then I'm getting back on the bus to go back to school, and I'm excited to get back to school, right? Because it's the newness and the, individuality and, freedom that you have as a college kid. And I get a phone call from my father after I get back to the dorm, and he says, you got to do me a favor. So what's that? He goes, next time you leave, make sure to get all weepy around your mother because she was destroyed that you were so excited to leave.
Oh, I don't know. It's all pretty good. Judy says it is a bit of an adjustment time, but good for you for letting them go explore the world. They will be fine.
Another texter says, totally understand it's hard to have our kids leave. Mine went into the military and is stationed at Fort Eustis, Virginia, but I'm so proud.
Wow. Cool.
507 texter says, never listen to She Is Leaving by the Beatles when driving home from dropping off a daughter.
Oh, gosh, that's so good. It is. These are the moments, right? Like it is the good stuff. Like I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the young men that both of these kids have become. As a parent, somebody was congratulating me today on getting both kids to great universities. And I said that I really don't care about they got into a good school. I don't care about that. I've never worried about their academics. I've never worried about, are they going to get a job? Are they going to excel? I've never worried about that. I have worried about, are they going to be good men? Will they be kind? Will they be empathetic? Will they be curious and inquisitive and thoughtful? And that's sort of the stuff where you're like, you do your best as a parent, but you don't know who are their friends. All of this stuff kind of weighs into it. So that, like, to me, that's the stuff you worry about. And that's why you want to know what went on the first night when you're off at college. Oh, so good. Thank you all for all the texts. Very helpful. Sometimes we just have like a little therapy sesh. Like I just tell you how I'm feeling. And I was feeling and am feeling still today. 3:22 will break. Talk about feelings. All the feels are coming out about a city council member who said out loud what you already knew she thought. Are you outraged? Are you mad at a city council member saying F Jacob Frey? We'll talk about that when we come back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. on News Talk 830 WCCO.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. And if you want to sell your home for the most money possible, the right exterior photographs can get you thousands of dollars more. Contact my friend, the Good Neighbor agent, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. If you're thinking about selling your home next year, those pictures might be taken in the winter, and your home is just not going to look as warm and inviting if there's snow on the ground. This month only, John will send out his professional exterior photographer, and it's going to let you show off your home while your lawn and garden are looking their best. No out-of-pocket costs. Also, a free staging consultation if you sign up this month. No obligation to hire John to sell your home either. You should, but he'll still be a good neighbor and help you out even if you choose someone else. Contact John, 952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Heading out for the weekend? Lucky you.
Don't forget to stop at Thaler Meats of Pierce for some melt-in-your-mouth moments.
High quality beef.
Fresh and smoked sausages and brats.
Home smoked bacon.
All natural chicken.
A great selection of fish and seafood.
Visit us at ThelanMeats.com.
We've got the cuts that'll make your meal.
Call to order ahead and pick up on your way to the lake.
You'll be the hit of the party.
No meals complete without Thaler Meats of Pierce.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Grown-ups, aren't Sundays more fun without? Can I have screen time? Can I have a snack? I don't want to go to Grandma's. It smells funny. And I'm bored. Bored is impossible on Kids Day at Target Field. The gate 30 for lawn is turned into Bullseye's backyard. Kids' meals are half off. Kids 12 and under can run the bases after the game. And Grandma's invited too. Enjoy your weekend wind-up with Sunday Kids Days, presented by Target. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
New month, new flavors. Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. I'm talking about those Sleep Night gummies. I know you love them, and they even have a new and improved Sleep Night gummy. But here's a twist. They got some new flavors. So, better sleep and some yummy new flavors. Great grape, green apple, snooze, and mellow mango in the nighttime blend. And of course, everybody loves the peaceful pineapple. That still exists in those Sleep Night gummies. Better sleep is the way to a better you. Mini Leaf can make that happen. I give these out to friends all the time. I recommend them for anybody who's having sleep troubles. You guys know they help me get off my Ambien, really. These gummies help me get off a pharmaceutical. I hope they will do wonders for you. Here's how you get them. Minileaf.com. MINNELEAF.com.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I would rather have a root canal with no Novocaine.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, let's hear it. Let's play it. Because much is being made over a well-known Jacob Frey hater on the city council who posted on her own Instagram page this video clip of her at a rally for Omar Fateh. And here is what Aisha Chugtai said.
I'm running for the city council again, and today I want to talk to you about my friend, my brother, Omar Fateh, the next go-around Mamdani right here in Minneapolis. We're going to transform the city because Jacob Frey, fascism,
All right, so that is Aisha Chugtai. And she, not a big Jacob Frey fan, clearly. Does this bother you? Does this bother you? Or are you like me? Because I'm not bothered by it. I'm not. There's nothing that interaction taught me differently or is new information about how the DSA wing of the city council, the younger city council members, Aisha Chugtai is the youngest member of the city council. This is how they feel about the mayor. Make your decisions accordingly. But the fact that she said F Jacob Frey, to me, is a big nothing. So what? Over the last year, we've seen a coarsening of the language from our elected official. And you see it like Senator Tina Smith calling Elon Musk an a-hole. I think the current president is a master of profanity and coarse language. 651-461-9226. I don't care. What Aisha Chugtai did is she said out loud the way that she has been talking about Jacob Frey for months. Now, when she says, I guess I'd love to have her on the show to ask, when you say F Jacob Frey, F Donald Trump, and F fascism, are you saying that you think Jacob Frey is a Donald Trump, or do you think Jacob Frey is a fascist? Like linking those three, if that's what she said, come on. I do think the DSA, the socialist wing of the city council, trying to portray Jacob Frey as some sort of right-wing Trump MAGA guy is hilarious and ridiculous and laughable. 651-461-9226. But the language, I don't care. It's disappointing, but not surprising. The Minneapolis City Council is the worst. Glad to know how she handles herself, says another. It is a tell. Another texter, you don't live in Minneapolis. Stay out of our business. I guess to you, I would say, screw you. Screw that. I hate that attitude so much. It's classic Minneapolis, by the way. Classic Minneapolis. I miss the decorum and respect politicians used to have. I miss that too, but that ship has sailed. Look at how everyone talks. Is this really upsetting, or is this just a performative show to be like, look how awful this person is? That's all it is. It's fine with you. You're all for decorum, except when Trump goes nuts, then it's like, well, that's just, plain talk Donald Trump, bucking the system. No one cares about any of this. No one cares about any of this. It's all just a show, as far as I'm concerned. We're going to break. We'll revisit this at 5:30. So if you have thoughts, text them in. And you can always send your feedback, because plenty of you think I'm absolutely nuts. So let's hear it. If you use the Odyssey app, go to the WCCO radio page where you listen live. And next to the Listen Live button, there's a microphone. You click that, send a voice message right to the studio. Are you bothered by a city council member saying F Jacob Frey? When we come back, I am bothered by really a startling story. Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband died at a very young age because of melanoma. I want to talk about skin cancer, melanoma risk in young people, what we should know. We'll do that when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is almost time for so many of you to go back to the office. For a lot of you guys, it's the first time to go back to the office since years. Go get a little bit of fashion help. You'll feel more confident when you look as good as you're going to look when you go to J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina. It's Jason here from my friends at J.H. & Sons. They are the best. Incredible service. Incredible service. You're going to meet Bryce or Kevin or Chuck, and you're going to be blown away by the fact that they genuinely care about you. They'll get to know what events you have coming up. They'll get to know what's your workplace, what's your style, what's your fashion, and they'll get you looking awesome. That confidence makes such a difference in life. It's premium menswear. It's extra premium, ultra premium service. Galleria, right here in Edina. Go to the Galleria. Stop in at J.H. & Sons. You can sign up for their email list. Be the first to find out about special sales and events at jhandsons.com.
Postman Law is about winning. If you've been hurt in a crash, on the job, or anywhere else, we fight to get you the most compensation possible. With over $3 billion recovered, our track record speaks for itself. Call 844-POSTMAN. Postman delivers. Speed, ease, and results. Offices, Minneapolis.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense, North 100 at 57th Avenue. Crash cleared. All lanes opened up. Still a bit jammed up coming in from County Road 81. East 394, slowdowns in place. 100 into downtown Minneapolis. Crash cleared. South 35W to West 94. Got some slowdowns over on 169 northbound as you make your way toward the crosstown, heading up to 394. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% discount. Joey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We'll see some patchy fog form again overnight tonight, falling back to 67, 83 the high the next 2 days. Partly cloudy tomorrow, plenty of sunshine Thursday before the cold front arrives. That will trigger some rain showers from northwest to southeast, mainly falling overnight into Friday morning. How about this? Much less humid Friday. That's a victory. It'll feel like fall this weekend with highs in the low 70s.
Right now, it is warm, sunny, 84 on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Please stay. I want you. I need
Well, to me, it was a shocker and a wake-up call. A successful talent manager and producer, the ex-husband of Kelly Clarkson, the singer, the talk show host, Brandon Blackstock, died at just age 48, only 48, and it was melanoma. He died after a 3-year battle with cancer, is what his family said. And I wanted to get a little insight on this from my friend, Dr. Mohiba Tureen from Tureen Dermatology, who's with us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker hotline. Dr. Tureen, I know, we talk about melanoma. We talk about the risk here in Minnesota, but this is just so young. And I feel like I've been hearing more of these cases of people in their 30s or 40s being diagnosed with melanoma. It can escalate so quickly.
Absolutely. Melanoma is no joke, Jason. And as you saw, Teddy Mellencamp, the daughter of John Mellencamp, is also battling stage 4 melanoma, unfortunately. Jerry Jones just came out that he was diagnosed more than 10 years ago and is surviving and is thriving with stage 4 melanoma. So you're right. It affects the whole gamut of ages.
What I guess what should we know about this other than we tend to think about skin cancer and especially melanoma as being something that does hit older people, but that's just not true.
No, it's unfortunately not true. There are more teenagers getting diagnosed with melanoma. It's a small subset, but children under the age of 12, there are melanoma in that group. We don't know if it's due to the environment, the ozone layer, all the chemicals in our foods, but there is a substantial increase in the risk of melanoma amongst all age groups. And as I've discussed with you before, unfortunately, Minnesota is top 5 for melanoma in the country because of our, very Caucasian background heritage.
Yeah. We're very white. It is that Norwegian, German sort of European skin for sure. But we also think, and like Mohiba, when you're in your like late 40s to mid 50s, it's sort of that zone that we were all going to the tanning beds and all of that sort of stuff too, right? Is some of that behavior coming home to roost, or what do we think?
Excellent point, Jason. Yes, I mean, you and I, at our middle age, everyone used to go to the tanning booths before prom and before everything. Some of my patients tell me that they used to have unlimited tanning cards. Can you believe that? And we've really done a good job of legislating that. Now, no one under the age of 18. I mean, it's great for our kids, but I'm seeing that in our age group. But it doesn't explain the increase in all these different ages. So there is something else going on. But luckily, there are really good treatments now. Jerry Jones is in total remission.
How about that? 10 years or so, he said he was diagnosed, right? He just shared that last week for the first time, I think.
10 years. He is now, he had metastases. That means, spread to the lung and the liver. And he had 4 surgeries on those, and those were removed. and he's on a class of awesome drugs called PD-1 inhibitors, and those actually aren't chemotherapy, which is great because chemotherapy just kills cells. He's on something called immunotherapy, which, if your audience hasn't heard about it, it is a game changer in cancer treatment because it actually primes your own immune system to mount a response against the cancer. So it's a much more powerful, robust response. But unfortunately, people like Brandon Blackstock did not respond to those. Not all people respond to immunotherapy.
And we're visiting with Dr. Mohiba Tureen from Tureen Dermatology, talking about melanoma. Young people, the increase in diagnosis. And we know there's a lot of research going on to try to crack sort of what is leading to this increase that we're seeing in young people. One of our listeners who's watching on YouTube is asking if like suntan lotion, obviously we know that sunscreen is a great way to try to protect yourself from the damage that can be caused by UV rays, but does suntan lotion make it worse, the people who are trying to tan out in the sun?
Yes, your listener is or viewer, I should say, because it's YouTube, is very smart because they've actually done some studies. When people use like a low SPF suntan lotion, like SPF 4, SPF 5, or something like that, it actually gives them this fallacy that they're protected because they've got a little SPF and they stay out longer and they get burned more, and they actually have a higher incidence of skin cancer because they are in this fallacy that they're slightly protected. So yes, do not use suntan lotion, use sunscreen, and even better, physical light clothing, hats, etc.
We've talked about before the fact that insurance doesn't always cover the full body skin checkup. There's sort of no standard, the same way there is with like a colonoscopy for a check. I wish there was something so people could get more, feel fully comfortable. Either way, it's not like it's an unaffordable thing, especially compared to the cost of fighting skin cancer. But talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you're so astute. So there was a study done a few years ago that getting a skin biopsy can cost anywhere between $200 to very high range, about $1,000. But treating one melanoma costs $1 million a year.
Whoa, no way.
So, think about that differential. And not to get on my soapbox about politics, but in Illinois, one full body skin exam is mandated by the state. Insurers must pay for that as a preventative thing, much like a colonoscopy or a mammogram.
Right.
But that is a state dependent thing. So if all of your listeners say, hey, we don't want to get melanoma and pay $1 million a year for treatment, we want to just get our full bodies covered, we as dermatologists would welcome that. We want our patients to be covered. Who doesn't want their patients to be covered?
Another texter saying, I'm in my 60s. Would sun exposure now actually affect me in my lifetime? That's sort of interesting. It's this idea that like, well, I've made it this far. What's the reality on that?
So it's multifactorial, right? As we age, our skin cell, all of our cells don't turn over as quickly, right? Like when you're a kid, you get a little scrape, it's healed in 2 days. If you're older, you can get a scrape and you can die from an infection because the cells aren't turning over. So what happens as we age and we keep getting that sun exposure, we're not repairing our skin cells. So that increases your risk for skin cancer substantially because again, your DNA is not turning over as much. So 80% of our sun damage is before the age of 18 for all of us who are in our 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. But that doesn't mean that you should just throw up your hands and stop wearing your sun protection.
Sunscreen is the obvious. Physical barrier, like a hat, is the other way. With sunscreen, I wear it every day on my face. Is there an SPF number that everybody wants a magic number? What's the number? Does it really matter?
Again, it does matter. And I always want to present to you and your listeners what is reputable and what's studied. And the studies from the American Academy of Dermatology have shown daily SPF 30 is sufficient and blocks more than 96% of the sun's rays. I don't wear it all over. I only use it on, if like today I'm wearing a dress that just comes up to my wrist. So I'm using it on my hands and my face and my legs. But you don't have to use it under your clothes. Like, again, we want to minimize these chemicals. Just be smart about it.
Makes sense. State Fair coming this weekend. A lot of people are going to be outside all day. Is that a reapply situation, you think, or how long does it last?
That's a reapply every 2 hours.
Every 2 hours? That often?
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad
Come
news,
on.
but that's get a good one that you like. And a lot of my patients like the powder, so you don't have to put the cream on again at 2 hours. Some people will put a little powder on. Some people will do spray, but make sure you put enough density of spray on. And again, I know I'm beating a dead horse dry, but just wear your SPF, the UPF clothing. That's so much easier.
Yeah, that stuff is really cool. All right, very good. Good information. Texters are asking you to open a clinic in the West Metro. I mean, that would be helpful for me too. I drive to Roseville from Maple Grove. It's worth it. But you guys are growing. It's good. It's good stuff.
We're honored to have you. You're always the best, Jason. Thank you.
Very good information, especially as we go to spend a lot of time outdoors over the next 12 days or so. Dr. Mohiba Tareen from Tareen Dermatology. Thanks, Mohiba. See you soon.
Thank you.
All right, 3:48. Let's break. A rebrand. I love a good rebrand. Dan loves a rebrand. The rebrand that has everyone saying, huh? We'll talk about that in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
It is summer. It is still time for you to make a change and start on the path to wellness and health. It's Jason here. You know that my life was changed thanks to the people at Livia, the Weight Control Center in Coon Rapids. I want you to feel your best this summer. And Livia is Minnesota and Wisconsin's #1 most trusted weight loss program for good reason. And I experienced it firsthand. 45 pounds gone about 3 years ago. I joined Livia 3 years ago, reached my goal on Christmas. So it took about 5 months, and I've kept it off for 2.5 years. I want you to achieve the goal that you want. That's what Livia does that's so special. Personalized care. So yes, they've got the gold standard GLP-1 medications. They've got award-winning nutrition program. You can do a combo platter. They've been doing it for more than 15 years. And right now it is so affordable. The meds are starting at $149 a month. $149 a month. And if you join the nutrition program, that's what I did, 50% off the whole plan. Got to join now, though. They've got that support that's going to make the difference. And in fact, you could lose up to 10 pounds or more in your first 2 weeks. Now, these are just summer deals, so they're not going to last, and I want you to get on it. Livia.com, Livea.com. One more time to the fair. Eat as much food as you can, and then call Livia. 855-GO Livia.
New month, new flavors. Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. I'm talking about those Sleep Night gummies. I know you love them, and they even have a new and improved Sleep Night gummy. But here's a twist. They got some new flavors. So, better sleep and some yummy new flavors. Great grape, green apple snooze, and mellow mango in the nighttime blend. And of course, everybody loves the peaceful pineapple. That still exists in those Sleep Night gummies. Better sleep is the way to a better you. Mini Leaf can make that happen. I give these out to friends all the time. I recommend them for anybody who's having sleep troubles. You guys know they help me get off my Ambien, really. These gummies helped me get off a pharmaceutical. I hope they will do wonders for you. Here's how you get them. Minileaf.com. MINNELEAF.com.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
The Minnesota State Fair is almost here, and at By the Yard, it's their favorite time of the year. They love seeing you, swapping patio stores, sharing what's new. For 30 years, they've brought premium, maintenance-free furniture built to last right here in Minnesota. This year, explore fresh designs and new rich wood grain colors. Visit By the Yard at the fair. Get a sneak peek, too, at showrooms in Woodbury, Maple Grove, or Jordan. Remember, with By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
612 Saturdays are back at Target Field. Enjoy $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food when gates open.
I'm from the 952. Can I enjoy 612 Saturdays?
The 952 is welcome.
I'm from the 218.
218, 651. Everyone is welcome at 612 Saturdays.
I'm from the 313. How about me?
That's Detroit.
Yeah.
Sure. Enjoy the weekend wind-up with 612 Saturdays presented by Carbliss. $6 drinks, $1 snacks, and $2 food. When we're together, the Twins rise as one. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
Here's a few questions for you from California Psychics. Do your workdays seem to go on forever? Is your career progression as fast as downtown traffic? Or does your boss still not know your name?
Hey, you, Tina, Lisa, Sheila, whatever. Get that report to me by lunch, okay? It's Carrie, ma'am. Just get it done, Terry.
It's time to read the career warning signs and talk to California Psychics. We're always on hand to give you the career guidance you need. You see, we only connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. So you could soon be telling your boss where to stick that report.
Where are you going, Terry? Terry!
Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Use caution as we move through Bloomington, eastbound 494 at Portland Avenue. Got a crash working. Right lane shut down. Slowdowns in place as midway toward France Avenue. South 35W jammed up 106th Street down to Black Dog Road. 494 northbound, watching the heavy stuff there between Highway 62 and County Road 6. 694 westbound jammed up Highway 10 to Highway 100. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, the forecast, if you like coolish weather, you're going to love it. Tonight, partly cloudy, 67. Tomorrow, 83 is the high. First day of the fair, mostly sunny, 83. Might rain late on Thursday, and then we're like in the 70s, maybe even in the 60s for the fair. Crazy. Right now, it's 83 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Management should have pulled the plug. You don't even care that much about
No,
this
I
topic.
love this stuff. It's mind-boggling. It's a beautiful thing.
But the people like it.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, like coming up with names for stuff is hard, right? Like it's not easy. I get it. I get the challenge. MSNBC, which is the talk channel that was a joint project. Remember when this started, when it was Microsoft? It was like, the new world. Microsoft. It's the computers and the journalists coming together. It's going to be so amazing. MSNBC is being spun off from the NBC side. This is sort of boring media stuff. There's a lot of boring media stuff in the news today. But like, I bet we could open the text line and say, okay, MSNBC has to get rid of the NBC. That's part of the bit. What would you call it? I feel we could come up with better answers than MS Now. MS Now, which they came up with some sort of idiotic, like MS stands for my source. Now stands for News Opinion World. If you're doing that much explaining, you've already failed. It's just so stupid. And when I read this, I read it as Ms. Now. It's Ms. Now. I mean, if they were really going to go in on the MSNBC branding, it should have been Mix Now, right? If you're going to be truly the woke network, the left wing network. Another friend was telling me it looks like it's multiple sclerosis now, like some sort of it's a nonprofit, like some sort of action fundraising thing. MS Now. I don't know, like what are we doing? What are they doing? Is this stuff? I know it's hard, but is it that? Is it that hard, Dan?
Well, and the worst part is they probably paid somebody a whole lot of money to come up with the whole concept, right? It's got consultant written all over it.
Another texter said, I'm rebranding to the journalist formerly known as DeRusha. Yeah. Or maybe the DeRusha formerly known as a journalist. Maybe that's... I could use a rebrand. I just got a brand. I don't know that I Rebrand's the biggest boondoggle ever.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or go online at carsforkids.org to donate today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country.
For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
Anytime is tune-up time at Apollo Heating, Air, and Plumbing. For only $59, gets your AC ready for the summer heat. Just visit us at callapollo.com. That's callapollo.com.
Where strong opinions meet open minds. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Streaming live on the Free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Hurricane Erin has weakened and it's still offshore, but it's a dangerous storm that could cause life-threatening flooding. Alerts are up from the Carolinas to the Northeast. National Hurricane Center Director Michael Brennan.
We've now issued a storm surge warning for the Outer Banks of North Carolina from Cape Lookout up through Cape Hatteras, all the rest of Dare County up to Duck. This means there's the danger of life-threatening inundation of 2 to 4 feet of inundation above ground level.
It's currently east of the Bahamas. The next step in the administration's efforts to end the war in Ukraine, a meeting between President Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky. CBS's Aaron Navarro reports there is some hesitation from the Kremlin.
President Zelensky told CBS News yesterday that there is no specific date set for that meeting with Putin, though he is open to it, quote, in any format, but that it should be among the country's leaders. The latest we're hearing from the Kremlin is that, quote, high-level talks will continue, but at a meeting of that kind between Putin and Zelensky, quote, must be prepared very carefully, signaling there could be some delays in getting that bilateral meeting set up for a trilateral meeting where President Trump is involved.
The Justice Department has reportedly opened an investigation into whether police officials in Washington, D.C. falsified crime data. President Trump insisted violent crime was getting worse when he ordered a federal takeover of the district's police, and more National Guard troops could be arriving. CBS's Scott McFarland reports.
Part of their mission, according to the National Guard, is to help support local police, but not conduct arrests and not carry firearms. That's the state of affairs here, at least for now. But a White House spokesperson tells CBS News that's subject to change in the coming days.
President Trump has put the nation's museums on notice. CBS News reporter Linda Kenyon has that story.
The president says he wants his lawyers to examine the museums, much like they have done with many colleges and universities. On social media, the president calls the museums, in his words, the last remaining segment of woke. The Post calls the Smithsonian out of control, saying everything discussed is, quote, how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Trump also complains there is, quote, nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about the future, adding woke is broke. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration is expanding the vetting of people looking to become citizens in the U.S. Social media will now be searched for anti-American views. On Wall Street today, stocks finished mixed. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit progressive.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 86 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Susie Jones. The hour's top story: Minneapolis City Council Vice President, Aisha Chugtai, is getting some backlash over inflammatory comments she made at a community music festival over the weekend.
During the Uptown Porch Fest on Saturday, Chugtai was captured on video endorsing mayoral candidate Omar Fateh and taking aim at Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey.
I'm running for the city council again, and today I want to talk to you about my friend, my brother, Omar Fateh, the next door Mamdani right here in Minneapolis. We're going to transform the city because Jacob Frey, fascism,
Her remarks drew sharp criticism from council members Linnea Palmisano, Andrea Jenkins, and Michael Rainville. The three council members released a joint statement calling Chugtai's behavior an extraordinary breach of decorum and demanding an apology to the mayor and Minneapolis residents. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison announcing today his office is filing a lawsuit against TikTok, arguing the social media platform is designed to keep young people's attention for long periods of time, comparing its tactics used by tobacco companies and strip clubs.
We're not trying to shut them down, but we are insisting that they clean up their act.
He says this lawsuit follows the Attorney General's federal lawsuit filed against Meta in October of 2023 for similar violations through its design of Instagram and Facebook. Minnesota lawmakers have been warned by a Minnesota District Court judge when it comes to passing that massive bill moving forward. Yesterday, a judge ruled that lawmakers violated the state constitution by including a ban on binary triggers in the 1,400-page state spending and policy bill passed in 2024. WCCO Radio political analyst Blois Olson.
And he actually kind of suggested people should challenge other laws within that bill because they would probably be pulled back too. I don't think that's going to unravel the bill, but I think it's going to, give the legislature a little more consciousness as they do this going forward.
And finally, the Minnesota State Fair begins Thursday, and folks working at the fairgrounds get a special preview of one of the oldest attractions at the fair. Sammy Clifton says the giant slide may be more than 50 years old, but it's still solid, swift, and safe.
We end up putting the canopy on, which takes 3 or 4 hours. We put the red sides on. We wash the slide. There's a lot that goes into it. It's always in good shape. We take very good care of it during the year. There's a lot we do to it.
All right.
What is a lot they do to it?
I don't know.
It's a giant slide. Are they out there waxing it? What are they doing?
I think they're
just counting their money is what they're doing. They're counting at $3. Is it $3 or is it $4 now?
I think 3 or 4. Yeah. Are you a do you
I
make
love
that a part? Yeah. I mean, I do
tradition.
too. I mean,
when the kids were little, they would want to go a million times.
Sure.
I still miss the days of the potato sack when you'd ride down on
Oh
the
yeah,
potato
what do you
sack.
ride on now?
Now it's like some kind, it's like everything is also the lawyers ruined it all. Like
There's a nice segue.
one person and setting up Joe Tamburino.
Right.
But somebody slid down that thing and got like a little sliver in their butt, filed a lawsuit. Now you're on some kind of boring now that Joe recommends they had airbags.
Yeah, right. Side ones.
I don't know.
Listen,
still pretty fun.
Yeah. Traffic and weather.
Why not?
Hey.
To find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. You'll find the crash cleared. The good news, 494 eastbound near Portland Avenue. Right lane's been reopened. Still slow, those are coming from France Avenue. Cedar South slows, Killebrew Drive to Highway 13, southbound 35E, jammed up through downtown St. Paul as you head out toward Grand Avenue. And 10 westbound slows between Egret and Hanson. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw and Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And it is brought to you this time by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys seeking justice for the injured. You can find them at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer with the forecast.
Expect a quiet night tonight. We'll see patchy fog form in a few areas once again, falling back to 67. Still a bit humid tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 83. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday. Now, a cold front comes through Thursday night. That will trigger some rain showers. Much less humid Friday and a very fall-like weekend with highs in the low 70s.
Thank you, Chris. Right now, partly cloudy and 86 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
If it's happening in your neighborhood, if it's happening in the Twin Cities, if it's happening in Minnesota, it's on News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, let's go. Good to be back with you after a couple days off to take Sam off to college. We talked about that in our first segment. If you're watching on YouTube, where a lot of people are hanging out today on the live feed, WCCO Radio, you can rewind at any moment. So that's one of the fun things about that. You can do that on the Odyssey app as well. Let's talk about the lawsuit against TikTok, because we have been watching as President Trump has threatened repeatedly to shut down TikTok. The U.S. Congress voted to shut down TikTok, or at least to say this should be an American company. The federal debate about TikTok has largely been a national security discussion, but today a different approach from the Attorney General here in Minnesota, and I'm not quite sure what to think about it, because where is the line between trying to get people addicted to something and being a business, trying to get customers? To me, that's the crux of the question here as we bring in Joe Tamburino, our legal analyst. Joe, it's good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
So is that the fundamental question here, where you say, is this just business, doing business, or is this something that rises to a tobacco company level?
Well, the state is going to be arguing that it rises to a tobacco type level. And what they do have in their favor is that this is primarily about children issues. It's primarily about, kids who get addicted to TikTok, and then, it affects their psychological well-being. It affects their behavior. Sometimes they become depressed, self-injurious behavior. So since it's mostly focused on kids, you could see it even more of an argument than with tobacco. But you're quite right. What is the line? Because obviously anybody who wants to sell an app, sell a product, whatever, we want the population, kid or adult, to make sure that they want it.
Attorney General Keith Ellison announcing this today. And that is the real thing. I don't know. It's tough because you think about it as a parent, I use TikTok. It is addictive, but everything on this stupid phone is addictive. So I don't know, is there something insidious about what TikTok is doing? The Attorney General's office says, we've been investigating this. Other agencies have been investigating it. You looked at the complaint that the state filed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the state has a case here?
I do think they have an argument. What I'm confused about is this. We have already joined as a state, I believe, 21 other states last year. I think it was last October of 2024, in litigation against TikTok. So now this case is specifically with Minnesota, obviously being filed here. So, and I think what the Attorney General is trying to get
almost
across,
half of the states have filed lawsuits
right?
like
Yes,
this, right?
Exactly.
Even left wing, right wing. This doesn't seem to be a political issue like many. Well, everything's a political issue, but this isn't a Republican or Democrat exclusive issue.
Oh, that's correct. Because, many states are passing legislation, many southern states, many conservative states, which is, personally and legally, I think the better venue to try to get what the state is trying to accomplish here would be through legislation. For instance, many states are passing legislation that, whether it's a TikTok app or otherwise, there actually needs to be an age verification. There actually needs to be parental consent and control. There actually needs to be certain safeguards so we don't have kids who are 12 years old looking up something and then the algorithm, whatever's in the app, sends them something that's going to put them in a bad psychological position, make them depressed, self-injurious behavior, maybe some type of chemical use. So, legislation is really the way to address this. But, as we all know, it's very difficult to get a legislature to do anything.
Well, and it's tough with TikTok because what you have here, and I guess, I don't know, I wasn't around during the tobacco lawsuit, but maybe in the original days of going after big tobacco, it was similar, where you have a product that, let's be real, like people like TikTok. It is very popular, and it is not exclusively popular because it's it's an addictive or it's a sneaky thing. Like people like it. They like the infinite scroll, I think, is the part of it that's as you learn more about how the designers came up with a scroll that goes on forever. So you never, remember the good old days of Instagram and it would notify you like you've seen everybody's posts. It's like no such thing now. The algorithm keeps feeding you more. But I think part of the challenge here is how do you go after something that we know is bad? We know it's bad, but we also like it. I mean, it is. I think about like, who's this jury who's going to be able to impartially take a look at this?
I doubt. I doubt this would ever get to a jury.
This is set up for settlement.
Yes, it is. And two things. Number one is right now, President Trump, though he continues to delay this, has the power to just resolve all this. President Biden already signed the legislation. We can ban it right now. President Trump has talked about banning it in the past, but keeps delaying that ban, keeps delaying the decision.
Right.
So you can make all of this moot by just saying, China company, you have to sell it to a U.S. company or it's banned in the U.S. Secondly, as this case goes through the litigation process, I would imagine there's going to be some type of settlement, a deal worked out perhaps where you would get parental controls, where you would get age verification.
And TikTok says already there are 50 plus features and settings designed to kind of protect young people. We also know that there's no real age verification. I mean, it is a challenge of the internet, period. I think trying to get some, especially in an AI world where you say, how do we know who, if anybody is who they say they are? How do we know if someone's a young person or not?
Well, right. But I mean,
but we could do better.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, think of it this way, the analogy to tobacco. When you buy cigarettes in most places, they're going to check ID and they will sometimes use the scanner, like when they scan a grocery item, to make sure that the ID you're using is actual a Minnesota driver's license or Minnesota ID. The same thing could happen in an app. You just use a QR code, you scan your driver's license or ID, and it's a legitimate ID, and it says that you're 19 years old, so have at it.
Right. If you want to give your ID over to some Chinese-owned company.
Well, that's up to you. Nobody's forcing you to do it. I mean, if you want to partake in TikTok or whatever it is, that's your choice.
That's your choice. Joe Tamburino is with us. Joe, before we wrap up, I want to ask you about this really interesting ruling on Monday. So this made big news on Monday, a judge striking down a trigger ban in Minnesota. But the facts of the kind of gun legislation don't really matter. The reason it was struck down is that a judge said, look, you can't be throwing everything into this 1,400-page mega bill. And so he threw it out. First of all, do you agree with the ruling?
100%. And here's why. Finally, Judge Castro, and I think did a great job with this. Finally, we have a judge who says, you know what? Our state constitution has a single subject and title clause, which says that you shouldn't have a bunch of bills that aren't related to each other in one big omnibus bill. If you have a bill that says it's all about government funding, you can't sneak in there regulations on alcohol. If you have a bill on regulations of tobacco, you can't sneak in there that $500 million is going to be spent in something in outstate Minnesota. It has to be germane, all these proposals. And this is not about gun control or lack thereof. This is simply about legislation. And it's a prime example, again, of our legislature not doing their job. Because if you read, and I have it in front of me now, Judge Castro's long decision, he goes over all the facts very well, talks about how back with the omnibus tax bill last year, that literally this thing was shoved in at the last minute and passed within 15 minutes, and it was not germane to other parts of the bill. So I think this is legally a very good decision, and it's telling the public and the legislature, don't do this again. Don't mix up all these bills.
Does this open the door for, 100 or 200 lawsuits related to other things that were jammed in this bill?
Sure, it could. I mean, think of it this way. Now, this is going to be, well, first of all, this will be appealed. I think the governor's office already said they're going to appeal this decision. But if Judge Castro's decision is upheld in the appellate courts, and I think it will be, it'll be great precedent in the future that all of a sudden when our legislature in the 11th hour decides to shoehorn something in that has nothing to do with the rest of the omnibus bill, you can attack it.
I think they should. I
agree.
It. I think it's terrible for the public. We don't get to weigh in.
That's right.
It also makes everything muddy where you either have to vote to kind of fund the government or not.
And you bring up a great point, because in the federal authorities, with our Congress, we hear that all the time. I had to vote for that. That's right. Because if not, I wouldn't get the money to build the bridge in my district.
Joe Tamburino, really good stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll see you at the state fair.
Absolutely.
419, trip to the eye doctor, the one place in the world where the eye doctor is the self-checkout of medicine, in my view. I'll talk about that in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right. We talked last hour with my friend Dr. Mohiba Tureen about the importance of the full body skin checkup. And this weekend, so many of us are going to be outside spending 8 or 9 or 12 hours at the state fair. I want you to make sure you are caring for your skin the same way you worry about your heart, the same way you worry about your lungs or your colon or any other part of your body. It's Jason here for Tureen Dermatology. They are the best. They're the absolute best. One of our texters said to me, Jason, after I heard last week about Kelly Clarkson's husband, who is 48, dying after melanoma, I made an appointment immediately at Tureen Dermatology, and I got in the next day. We tell you that they guarantee they'll get you in within 3 weeks, but Tureen Dermatology is always making room for new customers, especially when you tell them that you heard about it on CCO. Don't neglect your skin. It's so important. Could be a lifesaver, to be honest. Tureen Dermatology is at Tureen, Tareen, dermatology.com. You can call, too, and make an appointment. One phone number gets you to 9 locations. 651-633-6883.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Sir, these homeowners, they have major storm damage. Shouldn't we, pay their claims? Pay them? Ha! They'll take what we give them. If anything, most of them don't even read the fine print. But, sir, their roof collapsed. Let them use buckets. Cheaper than us paying out.
That's where Joe Brothers Construction comes in. They don't just fix storm damage. They fight the insurance company for you, so you get your roof back and your sanity. Joe Brothers Construction. Relief starts here. JOBE. JoeBrothersConstruction.com.
Financial literacy. It's amazing they don't teach it in school. Listen to the Investing with Confidence show every Sunday at 11 p.m. and join us for a free investing class by texting the word investing to the number 210-210. Take action today and make a change for tomorrow. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 today.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Don't you know how to control when you're not next to me?
So much new technology in the way that we're treated at the doctor's office, right? But there's one place where time stands still, and that is the eye doctor. Today I went to the eye doctor because I go every year. I had LASIK years ago. Love it. Love it. And my LASIK, all these years later, I'm still 20/15 vision. So take that. All of you who are 20/20 can suck it. Okay? 20/15, baby. So I go to the eye doctor today, and I don't know that I ever get as nervous or stressed out as I do at the eye doctor. Because, Dan, the fear is that I'm going to give the wrong answer. The eye doctor, in my view, is the self-checkout of medicine. You do the work. Is it better this way or that way? 1 or 2, 3 or 4? I don't know. What if I get, and you're like, you hesitate. You're like, wait, can I see it again? Like, if I get it wrong, I've failed my prescription. The eye doctor stresses me out.
Don't you figure that's why they do like 5 different versions of it, though?
Well, sometimes I'm like, they're just effing with me. Like this, we're trying to fill out the appointment time so she can collect her, her insurance payment. I don't know.
It's like when you do the surveys and they ask you like the control question because they're trying to figure out if you're lying or not, that kind of bit.
Can't they? Isn't there just a thing they can just like zip, zip, well,
apparently if there was, you would think they'd go with that, right?
So first you have to sit down and look in the machine and look at like the green plus. And then they take like a scan. And then I go to the other machine where you look at like some house that keeps getting out of focus and in focus. And it makes the sounds that make you feel that they've had this piece of equipment in the eye doctor's office for 48 years. And now I don't do the dilation. I used to do the dilation, but they give you the opportunity to pay $49
How
for
benevolent of them.
for the scan. And the first, so the scan does whatever the dilation does. I don't know. And when I'm doing the scan, the first time I did the scan, I'm like, why am I paying extra for this? Like, why isn't this just what we're doing? And they're like, well, you have to, like, you know, it's a cutting edge piece of equipment.
Meaning insurance won't cover it?
Right. So this is, you're defraying the cost of the piece of equipment. But like, I've been paying that damn $49 for at least a decade. Like, I've personally bought the piece of equipment, I think.
Is that how that works? Did you have to do the little air puff in the eye test?
No, it's more like I don't know what's in this thing, but it feels like a, you know, the plackers, those little things that you can floss with?
Yeah.
It feels like they're whacking you in the eye with that.
Really?
So it's like a gun. It's like a little thing, and they just like, and they just keep shooting it.
Sounds
Like,
awful.
pop, pop, pop,
Are you
pop,
sure you're going to a
pop, pop.
legitimate eye doctor and they're not just making a bunch of stuff up?
Well, I found them on Facebook Marketplace.
Well, see, there's your problem.
Sure, it's fine.
There's your problem.
And then you go in, and then they take the thing that we've had the same thing forever.
Yeah.
The giant, oversized goggles.
Yeah, the thing that presses up against your face and then they can flip all the lenses on you.
Better this
One
way
or two.
And you're like,
3 or 4.
And I'm convinced that all of it is for show, that by the time the eye doctor has stepped into the office, the optician, there's like a warm-up act. It's like a comedy show. You get the real deal, and then you get the warm-up act.
Okay.
And so the warm-up act, I feel like the warm-up act does all the stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see, this is the room. And I'm in front of this thing. I'm in front of the old RT 2100, the Nidec Final Fit that is right out of 1968. And you're doing the same. Like, the other funny thing to me about the eye doctor is that read the letters, read the numbers. I mean, the act could have changed over the years, right? Like, what if you put like emojis, or like, let's freshen it up a bit? What if you just memorize the lines, right? You just,
well, that's why they have multiple ones, right?
I don't know.
Because there was always multiple letter trees there. And
I should have written down what they serve me and bring the answers next year.
Look at you, just trying to cheat all the time.
Just to see if it's right.
How did it come out? Are your eyes okay?
Amazing.
Okay, so what are you worried about then? Whatever they're doing, it's working. You can see just fine. You don't have to wear glasses anymore.
Well, I have to wear reading glasses.
Well, you have to wear cheaters, but that's just because you're old.
So they asked, they're like, is your vision getting worse? And I said, again, I should just pay the copay to myself. Why don't you tell me, smarty? This is what I'm coming here for.
But that's just it. They can't see through your eyes, your information. Your regular doctor asks you questions. How does this feel? What's going on over here? What the heck is that?
Now,
that sort of thing,
A texter is asking, why go to the eye doctor with 20/25 vision? So my LASIK, part of the guarantee, the warranty, is that you have to get an eye exam every year. And my reading, I'm like, I want to make sure that my prescription is right for reading, and I'm here by the computer all the time and doing all of this. And as Ugel says, if I get it wrong at the eye doctor, then my glasses are wrong for the next 365 days, and you're cursing yourself for failing.
Don't encourage him.
It's the only test you take in life that matters. Every other test, whatever. The eye doctor. Like, this cost me, I paid $69 today. For what? Let's update it, It's 4:31. We're going to can't even read. What are we doing next? Something about the state fair. DeRusha Eats in seconds on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO. It's the land of deep-fried everything. Where even salad dressing is better than sautéed. Where winning a game scores you a plushie so big, it'll need its own seatbelt on the ride home. Where the fashion is cowboy boots, jorts, and neon fanny packs. And where News Talk 830 WCCO will be broadcasting live all 12 days on Farms Avenue, just down from Ye Old Mill. See the schedule at WCCOradio.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hey, Jordana, I'm Brian. I'm 58 and single. I have a house, a bunch of investments. I have a sister I'm close to, but no kids or anything tying me down. So I never really worried about planning for the future. Recently, a friend of mine passed away unexpectedly without a will or a trust, and it created a huge mess for the family he left behind. I don't want to be a burden on my sister. I want to be prepared. So why should I choose Gutman Law?
Hi, Brian. Your instincts are correct. If you were to do nothing, the state would decide who's in charge and how to distribute your assets, which is probably not what you want. And your sister will have a lot to sort out by herself. Now, this is the reason why I chose Gutman Law. My family, Matt and Jamie, were so sensitive to the nuances of my situation after a divorce. An estate plan is more than just names and numbers on a piece of paper. It's family. Making it easy on them is what matters most. From healthcare directives to wills to living trusts, Gutman Law can help you determine what type of planning makes sense to protect you and your loved ones. 612-895-1616 or go to gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
Get in touch with Metro Heating and Cooling for a $99 air conditioner tune-up. Find out more at metroheating.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Minneapolis without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Minneapolis for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. Minneapolis is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Minneapolis and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
Did you know that this year marks 100 years of Minnesotans supporting our veterans through the DAV of Minnesota? Showing your support is as easy as donating your gently used clothing and household items. Visit donatedavmn.org to schedule a curbside pickup or find the nearest donation drop-off location. Whether it's a community donation center at Savers or unique thrift stores or the neon green bin in your city, you're just a few miles from helping those who've served our country. So join DAV of Minnesota's efforts to give back to those who gave so much.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got a crash working on the ramp north 100 to eastbound 94. Use caution as you make way through the area. Activity off to both sides of the highway. The slowdowns backed up prior to County Road 81. West 94 jammed up into Minneapolis. That starts at Riverside. East 94 watching slowdowns Riverside and out to Hamlin. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Choose Herbert and Gerbert's when you want fresh ingredients for a perfect sandwich like the Italian Flash or the Turkey Avocado Norma. Funky names that are full of flavor. And don't forget our hearty soups and chili. Stop by or order ahead online. HerbertandGerberts.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Herbert and Gerbert's fresh ingredients on sandwiches always bring us Chris Schaefer.
We'll see some patchy fog form again overnight tonight, falling back to 67. 83 the high the next 2 days. Partly cloudy tomorrow, plenty of sunshine Thursday before the cold front arrives. That will trigger some rain showers from northwest to southeast, mainly falling overnight into Friday morning. How about this? Much less humid Friday. That's a victory. It'll feel like fall this weekend with highs in the low 70s.
80. What did Susie said? It was 86, 87. My phone says 84. I believe me. It's 84 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Pathetic, but entertaining.
That's a pathetic but entertaining.
On News Talk 830 WCCO. DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
DeRusha Eats brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. And the question for you, 2 days out from the Minnesota State Fair, is what is the fair food that you love that doesn't get the love? What is your thing at the fair that not enough people talk about? 651-461-9226. For me, it is none of the new foods. And just today over at Minnesota Monthly, I published a walking tour of the 2025 new state fair foods because, you know, all of these lists, and there are some of these new foods I'm interested in. I'm curious about the coffee cake ice cream sandwich, the dessert dog, it's called, at West End Marketplace. That West End Creamery, that looks pretty good. I'm curious about that. I'm curious about like the Hawaiian Kahlua pork at RC's Barbecue. I'm not really curious about the hot honey jalapeno popper donut. That sounds gross. I am curious about Mancini's cannoli gelato nachos. I think that sounds really tasty. So there's food I'm curious about. But the food that I find like should get more love is one of the simplest. It's one of the cheapest. It is at the Apples exhibit inside the horticulture building. It is the cider freeze. The cider freeze, which the first year I encountered the cider freeze, I think it was 50 cents. And then it was $1. And now I think it's $3. I love the cider freeze. Have you ever had a cider freeze, Dan? It's just apple. It's as simple as it comes. Apple cider, frozen, like a freezy pop. That's it.
No, I have not had that.
I feel like you would. I mean, I know you don't like to get too crazy.
Correct.
But I feel like this is in your, like, it's just simple, refreshing summer.
The way that you describe it doesn't make it sound like an automatic no to me.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I'm going to do it.
Yeah, right. That's fair.
I'll consider it.
It's great for kids because, I mean, although it sounds like the state fair is not going to be that hot, but you go to the Minnesota Apples exhibit. 651-461-9226. Lots of text coming in. I love the Scotch eggs. Scotch eggs are are a weird food, right? Dan, I feel like Scotch eggs for you is an automatic no.
Scotch eggs is one of those things where, to me, it's like if you pull apart everything, I'm good with eggs, I'm good with sausage, all the stuff.
Right.
But somehow combining it all together like that, no.
It feels, I've had them. I don't hate them, but I don't want them. You know what I mean?
I hear you, yeah.
Gizmo, the Gizmo sandwich. Gizmo sandwich, I feels gets an appropriate amount of love because Andrew Zimmern is a big Gizmo sandwich guy. Carl's Gizmo. And Andrew will be with us out at the State Fair. He's with us Friday, right? So Andrew loves the Gizmo.
Yeah, he'll be with us 5:30 on Friday.
Yeah. It's, I don't blame him for loving the Gizmo. It's tasty. It's like, have you ever had a Gizmo? I feel like no.
That is correct. That is a no.
How many things at the State Fair have you ever eaten?
I mean, you could probably count them on two hands.
So the Gizmo.
And you probably have fingers left over. You wouldn't need all of the two hands. The thing that I feel like doesn't get a whole lot of publicity, and it's because it's not anything fancy, right?
Right.
But if you go into the food building, you know where the mousetrap and the cheese curd, the whole production is.
It's mouth trap.
Sure, whatever the heck it is. But they got the mouse. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So there's cheese curd spot there. Just across from that is like a little, I don't know if it's mom and pop bit, but it's almost like a 60s diner kind of looking thing.
Oh, yeah.
That does burgers and fries. And that's pretty much it. Various versions of that, but that's it. Really good, really cheap. I mean, relative to other fair foods.
Yeah. That's a good
and there's just a little spot there that you can walk right by. You probably walk by it 100 times and not even seen it because it just doesn't look like anything other than just another food stand there. And again, burgers and fries aren't sexy, aren't new, aren't, foodie.
Right.
But if you just want, a good burger and fry combination to get a meal while you're at the fair and you don't want to pay an arm and a leg and an arm.
Yeah.
That's a spot to go.
That's very good.
You're welcome.
That's a pro tip because I've never tried that before. A texter saying key lime pie bar. So the dark chocolate covered key lime pie on a stick. That's from Greg in Maple Grove. I have had that, and it's excellent. There's something about like that limey, like that key lime flavor is so bright, and the chocolate gives you some sweetness to balance like all of that acid. Pretty good. Now this, Jason Minneapolis gives my second correct answer, and that is the Midway Men's Club at the State Fair, and just the simple burger at the Midway Men's Club. It is so good. Last year, I think I did a little video on it. I'm playing that on our YouTube page right now. It is a basic American cheeseburger, and it's $4. Well, I don't know what it is this year. Last year was $4, and you could get a Summit for $6. Cheap, cold beer, fresh, normal cheeseburger. Wonderful. Very good tip. Mancini's breakfast, ham and cheese. Footlong hot dogs, says a texter. Tired of the fashion show that the food has become. Whoa. You know what? I hate to say it, but I sort of agree with that. I do sort of agree with that. I do think, so I love the fun of the food. I love that people get excited to go try new stuff. I think that's great. And it's a lot. Like, I guess I don't want people to like forget about the animals in the DNR building and the creative activities building with all the cool, like crazy crafts and things that people enter. In the fine arts building with the largest art show in the state of Minnesota. So cool. So like, don't forget about that stuff. Mancini's breakfast ham and cheese. Sounds very good. Onion rings at the food court. I think onion rings in general are a little underrated when it comes to food. Like, I'm not going to, and maybe it's because I'm not going to make it at home. I'm not going to make onion rings at home. But a good onion ring, if you do it right and like the breading doesn't fall off when you bite in, it's pretty good. If your choice is French fries, tater tots, or onion rings, what do you pick?
Tots.
I usually pick tots.
100% tots.
I hope someone else picks tots, and then I would pick onion rings.
Okay.
Fries are fries, you know?
I mean, the fresh cut fry stands, those are really good.
That's my number one state fair food.
They're great. They're great. But yeah, in general, fries are kind of,
Yeah, pretty good. Lots of good answers here. Salem Dining Hall, that's another good one. All the dining halls, Church Dining Hall, the Hamlin Church Dining Hall, very good. That ham loaf is very strange. It looks disgusting and tastes delicious, which is meatloaf, right? Like meatloaf.
Kind of, yeah.
Looks gross, tastes good. That is DeRusha Eats. We'll have all sorts of fun stuff for you out at the fair.
Yeah, you and Tracy on Thursday are heading out and
I'm gonna get to
trying
the
all this
fair
stuff.
at like 9 or 10.
Oof, okay. I'll see you when I get there.
But the whole list. So I've got my ranked list at minnesotamonthly.com. But today I did something sort of convenient.
Yeah.
The idea was that you could print out this list of new foods, and I organized it by location. So you could be like, oh, I enter at Snelling. Cool. Go to the Snelling section, and then you could kind of work it through. And we even have a section of walking the WCCO radio booth to see our show.
Perfect.
What's near there? Because we'll be out there every day but Tuesday.
Tuesday, yep. Our friend Remy takes over the booth Tuesday afternoon. Sweet Martha's is right next door.
Yep.
Mancini's is across the street.
That's the cannoli gelato nachos.
French, what's the French Meadow?
French Meadow, yeah.
It's right across the street as well.
Dino's, right by Dino's.
is
they
right
have
there.
Whipped feta that looks really tasty also.
There's usually an icy stand right outside of our booth.
The Tasty Whip stand has a cherry limeade
there you go.
float this year is new.
There's also that place that's usually across the street that does the big honkin' Rice Krispie treats.
Oh, yeah. And the
as big as your head.
deep fried candy bars
Okay.
are over there too, which I congratulate their ingenuity.
We're not far from the footlong hot dog stand.
Very underrated.
And we're
That's
also,
a great hot dog.
I mean, the fresh cut fries is kind of behind us.
Yep, true.
And then the food building is just not terribly far
Yeah.
down the road there.
So
either.
there you go.
Lots of options.
So
for us.
come say hi. We love it when
Yes.
you come and watch the show.
So Thursday, the Twins are playing a day game. So we'll be on after that game, which usually is around 3:30-ish, but obviously it depends on how quickly the game goes. But yeah, we'll be on right after that, talking about fair foods, you and Tracy, and lots of good stuff planned.
Good stuff. All right, let's break. When we come back, a real nostalgia moment last night that sort of brought up a question about sports coverage on TV. Sports Center, back in the day with Rich Eisen and Stuart Scott, it was mostly highlights. No argument segments, no panels. Is there an appetite for a return to that sort of stuff? We'll talk about that in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Man, worst thing about being out in LA over the last couple of days, no Minnesota pork. No, well, none that I knew. We do send our pork all over the country, all over the world. It's Jason here for the family pig farmers who care so much for pigs, people, and the planet, the Minnesota Pork Board. It's not just like this thing. It's the pork board. It's the people. It's 3,000 family farmers. It's your neighbors. And you know they are going to be out. We got to get a pig farmer. That's the one thing we didn't line up yet to come on over to see us at our CCO booth. But you are going to go out to the pig barn and go meet some of those farmers and just have a great time. Taste what pork can do for you. Minnesota Pork has all sorts of information. Tons of suggestions. First of all, if you don't like cooking pork at home because you dry it out, you may be cooking it to too much of a temperature. 145 is more than enough. At 145, pull it off the heat, let it rest, let those juices get sealed in, and get yourself to the butcher store, butcher shop, grocery store. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
Advantage Seamless Gutters is now Advantage Home Pros. New look, same pros. Still locally owned and now taking care of all your gutter and roofing needs. Don't spend your weekends on a ladder cleaning your gutters when you could be spending time with family and planning that summer trip. Trust your local gutter pros, Advantage Home Pros. Now your local custom roofing pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials, our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Brianna is a member of Liuna Local 563.
If you're looking for a rewarding career in the construction trades, then consider joining Liuna like I did over 13 years ago. Union contractors are hiring construction laborers across every construction market, and union laborers earn great pay and benefits and have access to the Laborers Apprenticeship Program that provides free training for your entire career with no college debt. Our work is building a better and safer Minnesota.
For career opportunities, visit buildthenorth.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius or two half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to you by American Rare Coin and Collectibles. Find them at AmericanRareCoinAndCollectibles.com. 35W northbound near Highway 280, crash working off the left side. Things are slow as you make way past Industrial. North 100, East 94, going to find an accident working there off to the right side. It's slow as you make way toward Bass Lake Road. If you're traveling 694 westbound, get ready for your slowdowns. Highway 10 to 252. If you've inherited valuable coins, gold, silver, or jewelry, where do you turn? American Rare Coin and Collectibles. For over 30 years, American Rare Coin has been purchasing valuable coin and precious metal collections with honesty, transparency, and immediate payment. American Rare Coin and Collectibles.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jason DeRusha here. The Canopy Group represents 16 different insurance companies, not just one. They give you options. Each year, they'll review your program so you don't have to, making sure you get the best coverage at the best price. Do like I did. Go to thecanopygroup.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Forecast is for partly cloudy tonight, 67. Tomorrow is 83. Canopy Group bringing us the weather. Right now, it's 84 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tonight
on SportsCenter. The preseason Monday Nighter certainly did not disappoint in D.C. While an old D.C. star powered up the Phillies against the Mariners.
Oh, that's Rich Eisen for the first time in more than 20 years. Doing SportsCenter kind of the old way. No arguments, no panels, no... Well, there's still some nonsense. It's brought up a lot of nostalgia. The world is not what it was 20 years ago. And if you had a SportsCenter that just showed highlights, anyone who cared about sports would have already seen all of those highlights on social media. It is very difficult to go back to how something used to be. And a lot of times when people react with that desire, like, oh, why can't we just have the highlights? Come on. It's like when people yearn for Filio. Oh, why can't we? You don't want that back. You want to be 20 years younger. You want a less stressful life. That's all. It was cool. It was cool. It did bring me back to being a kid. Jason here for Livia. Feel your best this summer with Minnesota and Wisconsin's #1 most trusted weight loss program. Livia has been the gold standard for more than 15 years. GLP-1 medications, award-winning nutrition, or both. Nobody gets better results. Right now, premium care is more affordable than ever. The meds starting at $149 a month, and it's 50% off nutrition when you join now. You can lose up to 10 pounds or more in your first 2 weeks, but hurry. Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA today.
Hi, Ryan O'Neill with the Minnesota Real Estate Team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Our team is here to help you with any real estate questions you may have about buying, selling, or investing. Our approach is simple. We focus on you and your best interests. No hard sales pitch, rush, or pressure. We work on your timeline. 612-294-6949, mnrealestateshow.com. That's 612-294-6949.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Hosts that get it. Shows that get you. News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Always streaming on the free Odyssey app.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCoy. Hurricane Erin will remain offshore, but it's still a very dangerous storm. Hurricane Center Director Michael Brennan says a storm surge warning has been issued for the Outer Banks in North Carolina, but it'll create dangerous conditions farther north.
And that large wave field, as Erin's wind field expands, is going to affect almost the entire east coast of the United States with dangerous surf and rip current conditions. So please stay out of the water. Pay attention to those warning flags along the beaches.
CBS's Aaron Navarro reports on some clarification today from the president about those security guarantees for Ukraine.
President Trump said this morning that it'll be the United Kingdom, France, and Germany to quote front load it and provide boots on the ground for any type of security guarantee, but that there will not be U.S. troops on the ground, though there may be some air defense coming from the U.S.
As to when Russia President Putin and Ukraine Zelensky could actually meet at the White House, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
I can assure you that the United States government and the Trump administration is working with both Russia and Ukraine to make that bilateral happen as we speak.
There is a federal criminal investigation now into the crime stats in the nation's capital. Linda Kenyon reports.
President Trump declared a crime emergency in Washington, D.C. August 11th, federalized the D.C. Police Department, and brought in the National Guard. hard. He did so even as D.C. crime statistics show crime significantly down. Now the Justice Department is investigating to see if the stats were manipulated. This investigation comes amid a report that one police commander was placed on leave over questions about the stats. However, the president's first interim U.S. attorney in D.C. stated violent crime was down during Trump's first 100 days in office.
The UN said today last year was the deadliest ever for aid workers around the world. Spokesman Jan Lerke.
Today's grim statistic is that last year, 2024, a shocking number of aid workers were killed, and we have seen a 31% increase.
Many international tourists feel they're not welcome in the U.S. as they once were. Matt Piper has that.
Las Vegas resorts, convention centers, and even casinos are reporting fewer visitors this summer. The city says it welcomed about 3 million tourists in June, an 11% drop from June last year. The mayor says tourism from Canada, what was its largest international market, has dried up. The head of the Culinary Workers Union is calling it the Trump slump, blaming it on tariffs and people being afraid of his immigration crackdown.
On Wall Street today, stocks finished mixed. The Nasdaq was off more than 300 points. The S&P 500 down for the third day. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Partly cloudy skies, 85 degrees at 5:03. I'm Susie Jones. The hour's top story, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison announcing today his office is planning to sue TikTok.
The video sharing social media app is beyond popular, and now some say it's dangerous.
Just like Big Tobacco designs its products to addict them, TikTok is working to create TikTok addicts.
Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison and nearly 24 other attorneys general have been investigating and suing the platform since 2022, alleging that TikTok is violating state consumer protection laws with features designed to be harmful and addictive to minors. Sean Padden is a middle school health teacher who sees firsthand the impact TikTok has on his students.
Attempting dangerous and oftentimes harmful challenges, resulting in damage to property and even student hospitalization.
Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830, WCCO.
Controversial comments from Minneapolis City Council Vice President Aisha Chugtai speaking at a music festival last weekend. She came out in support of Omar Fateh for mayor and then took aim at the current mayor.
We're going to transform the city because Jacob Frey, fascism,
Reaction from fellow council members Linnea Palmisano and Andrea Jenkins, as well as Michael Rainville. All three said Chugtai's behavior was an extraordinary breach of decorum and demanded an apology to the mayor and Minneapolis residents. Meanwhile, WCCO radio political analyst Blois Olson says in the aftermath of the political assassination of Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, Democrats had vowed to tone down the rhetoric.
And now you have a sitting city council member using that kind of language against a sitting mayor. That's not toning down the rhetoric. And by the way, that's not a Republican-Democrat issue. That's a Democrat versus Democrat issue. It doesn't do anything to help the tone, what is going to be a very tense mayor's race.
He says it also remains to be seen if it affects the outcome of her race. We have an update on the possibility of a strike at the University of Minnesota campus. Union workers were given a final offer today and are voting on that. Some 1,400 employees represented by Teamsters Local 320, including those who work everywhere from dining halls to maintenance, have been engaged in mediation with the university. A spokesperson telling us this afternoon this latest offer, again, will be voted on by membership. And if it is voted down, there is still a potential for a strike at the U. And finally, students in the Stillwater area public school district, students there back in the classroom earlier than usual.
Classes got underway Monday as the school implemented an earlier start to not only address mental health concerns, but to align end of quarters with natural winter and spring breaks. Superintendent Dr. Michael Funk says students are getting more time on the front end.
And really provide more time on the front end
for our students that have extra days of instruction, so that when they're taking their AP exams and really their MCAs in the spring, we'll have 7-8 more days than we would have had previously.
Previously, secondary students started a week before Labor Day, and elementary students started after Labor Day. Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Well, Stillwater is sort of full of it. And I know you don't want to get into it.
It's okay.
But Stillwater had, so in the state of Minnesota, only like 25 schools, districts start before Labor Day.
Okay.
Because remember, they used to do some experiments. Minneapolis used to go early.
Mm-hmm.
And the hope was that test scores would improve, and they didn't. So the state said, too bad, you go after Labor Day.
Okay.
Well, Stillwater, because there's always some construction project going on at one of their schools, they get this construction waiver every year. So they're allowed to start early because of construction. So whatever all this mental health, like it's just a policy that the school district has decided that they are starting early, and they use this loophole to ram it through. And I think the state should tell Stillwater schools enough
already.
That's what I think.
Okay.
But, what are you going to do?
Well, I don't know how much pull you have in Stillwater.
I believe I've spoken. Stillwater.
This,
I mean, they don't care, obviously, but like,
But
why?
now I would like to know if
why
the trans-
should they be the only ones that start
what
early?
is the benefit of starting early? Do they do better?
I'm guessing the
Obviously.
superintendent has plans in mid-June. That'd be my guess. It's for mental health of people taking the AP exam. Give me a break. Like the Stillwater kids are such little delicate flowers, unlike the rest of the state. Please.
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
There you
from WCCO Radio's Jason DeRusha. And on that happy note, we'll go to traffic and weather together.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Brought to us Chef IQ Sense. North 100, East 94 crash has been taken care of. Still a little bit of a slowdown through that stretch. If you're going to be traveling on Highway 35W northbound near Highway 36, got a crash working off the left side, but it looks like they're about ready to pull out off the left shoulder there, so use caution. They're taking out the left lane right now as they do move the vehicles. If you're traveling 694 eastbound, got a jam up there from 252 heading out toward Lexington. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that perfectly cooks your food. The Chef IQ probe is inserted into your food and connects to the Chef IQ app to ensure you never under or overcook your food. It's that simple. Order now on chefiq.com with code word WCCO for 15% off. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Brought to you this time by Washburn-McCreevy Funeral Cremation.
Great people.
I know they help
Bill
you get
McCreevy,
ready to
great
die.
guy. Great.
I know it. It's a big job to help people through that very hard process. Let's see now. What else was I going to say? This is WCCO Radio TV Chief Political.
Here's Chris Schaefer.
That's what I'll say. How about it, Dan?
Expect a quiet night tonight. We'll see patchy fog form in a few areas once again, falling back to 67. Still a bit humid tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 83. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday. Now, a cold front comes through Thursday night. That will trigger some rain showers. Much less humid Friday and a very fall-like weekend with highs in the low 70s.
All right. Very good. Right now, partly cloudy skies, 85 degrees at News Talk 830 WCCO.
News that's actually news. Talk that actually matters. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, I'm warmed up. We're warmed up in hour number 3. Drive Time with DeRusha, back after a little break. If you want to hear about me dropping my son off, my baby, dropping my baby boy off at college. That's what I was doing over the weekend. Check out the podcast wherever you get podcasts. Drive Time with DeRusha. You can subscribe, like, leave reviews, whatever. We appreciate that. We're also streaming live on YouTube and Facebook and X right now, if you'd like to check that out. Because what's more exciting than watching a couple of guys do a radio show? How about a couple of guys talking about the D Rush Hour news headline?
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRush Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
And we begin with a message to the Minnesota Attorney General, Keith Ellison. You can take TikTok out of my cold, dead hands. Do not take away my TikTok. Attorney General of Minnesota suing TikTok, saying the algorithm is addictive. The features are exploitative. Keith Ellison, in this lawsuit, which is very similar to a lawsuit that the state of Minnesota filed against the parent company of Instagram and Facebook. The allegation is that it is deceptive marketing towards children. That's the bottom line here. A lot of us will look at this through the federal lens, where on the federal level, the conversation has been about national security, but this is strictly about whether TikTok is legally getting kids hooked, legally or illegally getting kids hooked. We'll see what happens, but there are about 25 states that have filed lawsuits. Minnesota has been a co-signer, if you will, on other lawsuits. But will TikTok settle? Will the parent company of TikTok, Chinese ByteDance, will they sell as part of a federal thing? And then what happens with the state lawsuits? Lots of questions here, but that lawsuit news coming out just today from the AG. Next up on the lead is the reverberations from a judge that had the courage to stand up and basically tell lawmakers that they went too far. When the Democratic trifecta had a 1,400-page mega bill last year, that bill had a provision that struck down binary triggers on guns. It allows 2 bullets to be fired with 1 pull and release. The lawsuit outlawed them. They were used in the deadly police shooting in Burnsville. But the judge that threw this law out wasn't upset about the merits of the law. He was upset about the way it was done, and that provision was rammed into a 1,400-page spending and policy bill that was approved in the closing minutes of the 2024 session, the trifecta session. And we asked our legal analyst, Joe Tamburino, if he agreed with the ruling.
Finally, we have a judge who says, you know what? Our state constitution has a single subject and title clause, which says that you shouldn't have a bunch of bills that aren't related to each other in one big omnibus bill. If you have a bill that says it's all about government funding, you can't sneak in there regulations on alcohol. If you have a bill on regulations of tobacco, you can't sneak in there that $500 million is going to be spent in something in outstate Minnesota. It has to be germane, all these proposals. And this is not about gun control or lack thereof. This is simply about legislation. And it's a prime example, again, of our legislature not doing their job. Because if you read, and I have it in front of me now, Judge Castro's long decision, he goes over all the facts very well, talks about how back with the omnibus tax bill last year, that literally this thing was shoved in at the last minute and passed within 15 minutes, and it was not germane to other parts of the bill. So I think this is legally a very good decision, and it's telling the public and the legislature, don't do this again. Don't mix up all these bills.
The judge in this case did not throw out the whole bill, the whole omnibus bill, but he did invite a higher court to do just that. Writing, the court respectfully suggests if there has ever been a time for the, quote, draconian result of invalidating the entire law, That time is now. Next, when you go to bestbuy.com, soon you'll be seeing sports apparel and Martha Stewart kitchenware alongside electronics. Best Buy's trying to figure it out. All of the old school retailers are trying to figure it out. And Best Buy is re-entering the third-party marketplace. I don't know if you've ever gone on to Walmart.com or Target.com and you see the typical Target stuff, but then you see some things on the website where you're like, what's this? Never saw that at a Target store. It is what's called a marketplace. Best Buy is saying that this should give them a deeper product selection, so a larger selection of laptops, more gaming accessories, products that they wouldn't carry in the store. But then it'll also carry other stuff like furniture, sports apparel. Today, shoppers use Amazon. They use Walmart. Target said that last year they made $1 billion in their third-party marketplace. The way it works is people like Dan Cook, who are sellers, apply to Best Buy and then get their stuff on the website, just like anybody else. 1,500 sellers. You're not in, are you? 1,500 sellers?
Not that you know.
Okay. Yeah, you know. The initial launch will have 500 sellers, but more than 1,500 have been accepted. We'll see. Tough times, obviously, as so many of us upgraded our tech during the pandemic. And then we try to ride that stuff out until it straight up dies. Not great if you sell electronics and technology. And one more note in the lead, and that is a name for the amphitheater near Canterbury Park. We don't have enough great outdoor amphitheaters, and Shakopee is getting a beauty. 19,000 music venue, 19,000 seats under construction in Shakopee. And Mystic Lake, it just makes so much sense. Mystic Lake, right up the street. The Casino Hotel getting the naming rights. So this is near Canterbury Park. It's part of, man, so much change down in Shakopee. Because Canterbury Park, they've got a huge restaurant complex right smack up against the track. And now they're going to have this music venue and all of this stuff. Mystic Lake Amphitheater expected to host its first concerts next summer. That's pretty big, 19,000. I mean, that gets you into summertime where you're like, all right, those sorts of concerts that have been at Target Field, where else can they go? State Fair. Otherwise, that's about it. So outside the fair, this will be a pretty cool venue. Shakopee making some moves. Both Shakopee and Blaine, we've seen lots of growth and lots of creativity there. That is page, that's page one. We call it the lead. Next up, page two. Page two of the D-Rush Hour news headlines, where we'll talk about a new owner for one of the local TV stations. Could a sauna reduce the risk of firefighters getting cancer? And Potato Olay's news. One of us when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Thielen Meats of Pierce is where tradition meets taste.
Family grown, employee owned. We've mastered the art of meat.
That's why we're the #1 meat market in Minnesota.
And we're located right here in Pierce.
Check out our mouthwatering selection at thielenmeats.com.
Better yet, stop in and see for yourself. We're serving up love one cut at a time.
Thielen Meats, from our family to your feast.
No meal's complete without Thielen Meats
of Pierce.
Millions of Americans use credit cards to purchase goods every day. The Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates put the secure transactions you rely on at risk, leaving you vulnerable to hackers and foreign cybercriminals that want your data. Hackers win. You lose. Guard your card before it's too late. Tell Congress your data security is not for sale and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Minneapolis without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Minneapolis for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text EARN to 64,000. Minneapolis is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop this week right here in Minneapolis and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text EARN to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text EARN to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text EARN to 64,000.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-220-6409 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-220-6409. That's 800-220-6409. What do you have to lose? Call 800-220-6409. Again, 800-220-6409.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
Brutal. It was giving me headaches and making me nauseous. I don't know if I'm getting used to it, but thankfully it didn't bother me as much. It wasn't as oppressive as it has been.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rush Hour news headlines, page 2, and we begin with news of a new owner, potentially, for KARE 11.
At KARE 11, we're committed to telling the stories of this very special place. Finding the heart of this community is our responsibility. Telling the stories, our privilege.
Wow, that sounds like Epcot Center, some sort of Epcot Center intro. Nexstar, New York Times reporting, giant local TV company said it was going to buy Tegna for $6.2 billion. And the issue here that affects the federal government is there used to be limits on the number of TV stations that you could own. The federal government sort of limited this. Tegna owns 64 TV stations, overlaps with Nexstar in 35 different markets. Nexstar, if this deal closes, would oversee 265 television stations in 44 states and Washington, D.C. The issue from Nexstar's perspective, which is fascinating, is that 25 years ago, yes, local TV was only competing against other local TV. And so, yes, there was an antitrust reason to prohibit TV stations from having giant ownership. Today, TV stations are competing against Google and Meta and everybody else in the information economy. Of course, all of this is political. The chief executive of Nexstar praised President Trump and his FCC chairman, which you can ask CBS if doing a little bit of kissing of the ring is helpful. Local TV, you've seen newspapers struggle around the United States, but local TV has stayed fairly resilient. In 2024, Nexstar generated $5.4 billion in revenue, nearly 10% increase in the previous year. Could a sauna reduce the risk of firefighters developing cancer?
Are you pronouncing the word sauna correctly in Finnish? It is sauna, not sauna or sauna.
I'm going to say sauna. I'm going to call it sauna. Really fascinating research going on here. Minneapolis Fire Department adding saunas into its stations. The idea is that saunas may prevent toxins from being absorbed. Does anybody see like a firefighter saying, I'm going to step into the sauna? Because, I don't want that guy or gal coming to fight a fight. Well, yeah, sauna.
Correctly in Finnish.
No, stop it. So, hitting the sauna may prevent...
It is sauna.
Okay, all right. Toxins may be prevented from being absorbed into their skin. So you go to a fire, you get all this smoke all around your body, and then you take a sauna.
It is sauna.
Okay. The fire chief, Brian Tyner, was recently diagnosed with cancer. Brian's been in the department for 31 years. He's hoping this can help avoid the elevated cancer risk. Steve Shapiro, former St. Paul firefighter and cancer survivor, helped raise the money to purchase these. So far, 5 are in 14 stations. And there is research going on with with a physician at the Health Partners Institute who studied St. Paul firefighters, and we're still waiting for all of that research to come back. Potato Olays, they are now officially one of us.
There's a whole lot of Mexican going on at Taco John's. Taco John's.
Taco John's headquarters is now in St. Louis Park. Axios Twin Cities reporting this. Star Tribune. This is big news. Why is this such big news? I mean, it's fine, right? I'm all for a headquarters. I love a job. I love a corporate headquarters. I've been to the Taco John's Franchise Support Center. Where do you come down on Taco John's? I know Dan Cook. I feel like Taco John's would be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, not really. I mean, potato olays are fine, but I'm more of a Taco Bell guy.
Are they significantly different?
Apparently.
I was impressed by this franchise support center. They have a big test kitchen there. They got chefs coming up with new menus. It's pretty cool. This new CEO is Heather Neary. She was hired last year. She quietly moved the company to the Twin Cities. It was headquartered in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and now it's in the shops at West End in one of the office towers over there. So kind of cool. Why would you want to be in Cheyenne, Wyoming? Trying to fly to some of the locations. Cheyenne has one direct flight to Denver, MSP Airport. We have a 170. Take that, Cheyenne. Plus, we are sort of franchise central. If you think about it, Dairy Queen, Caribou Coffee, we were Buffalo Wild Wings, Great Clips, headquartered here. A lot of franchises. Very interesting. Who made the cut for Monopoly's St. Paul edition?
Whew! I haven't had so much fun since I started playing my Monopoly game. Because now I'm in a new game. Free parking.
Free parking. This is kudos to Monopoly for getting some publicity on this stuff. They got the Wabasha Street Caves. They got Cafe Latte, the Twin Cities German Immersion School. What a load. Why is the German Immersion School? When you think of St. Paul destinations, do you think of that? Boca Chica, that's good. They should be on there. Can Wonderland, yes. St. Paul Brewing, sure. Mungtown Marketplace, yes. Anchor Paper, that works. Mears Park, Como Park Zoo, St. Paul Winter Carnival, a lot of good stuff. Blaze Credit Union, sure, I guess, sure, fine. They must have paid. Some of these had to pay for this, right? This is all like they're trying to make us think it's really cool, but it's really just like some kind of Twin Cities Pioneer Press writing about it. The big fancy items. What's the most expensive property on the board? And I don't like this one bit. So Park Place and Boardwalk have become CHS Field. Stupid. And the Cathedral of St. Paul. I mean, the cathedral is amazing, but like suggesting, I guess, like it's a little too close to the buying of indulgences for my taste. Like, not to get all, I'm not trying to go Renaissance era here in the CCO radio commentary, but a little too close to me. You can get this thing at, Can Wonderland, Cafe Latte, Monktown Marketplace, among other locations. That is page 2, and that's the D-Rush Hour. We do this every day at 5. We would love if you would subscribe to the podcast. You can get up to date on some of our favorite headlines of the day every day, wherever you get podcasts. When we come back, I want to talk a little more about the absolute performative, goofy, pretend outrage of the day, where people are pretending to be mad that Aisha Chugtai said the F word and directed it towards Jacob Frey. I'll explain why I don't agree with what she's saying, and I don't agree with those of you who are freaking out about it. We'll be back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
Through every pitch, every trade, wait, who's that guy moment?
0-2. Struck him out. The 1-2-3 inning for Hatch.
Who's hot?
That's going to be a base hit and an RBI. Luke Keishel.
Who's next?
Gone! 3-run homer. There's your magic. Clemens has tied it up.
Baseball's boldest experiment plays out here.
The Twins won't quit. Trevor Larnach with his 3rd hit of the night.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
So many of us look around our house and say it is time to downsize. That's exactly what Susan and Kevin Borowick did. They join us now. I want to ask you about the process of working with the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, and your agent, Kieran Evanson.
Well, it was just extremely smooth. We sat down, he did a market analysis for us so we could really develop a good pricing strategy. He sent out a staging consultant who helped us get things ready for showing. We just couldn't be happier. We received an offer, actually more than one offer, quite a bit over our asking price.
That's part of the whole Schuster Group difference, is that their marketing programs really target the right buyers. Did you feel that when they were going through the process with you?
Absolutely.
If someone is on the fence about hiring the Schuster Group, what would you tell them?
They greatly exceeded our expectations, and I would say you just cannot go wrong working with the Schuster Group.
Contact John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, 952-222-9000, online, johnschustergroup.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the Luxe Staples Insider Swear By, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style upgrade.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country.
For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Traffic is slow as you're heading into Minneapolis, North 35W past Diamond Lake Road, East 394. That's jammed up at 100. 494 northbound got your slowdowns as you move between Highway 62 and Highway 55. West 494 slows as you move past Highway 13 across the Minnesota River Bridge. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Choose Herbert and Gerbert's when you want fresh ingredients for a perfect sandwich like the Italian Flash or the Turkey Avocado Norma. Funky names that are full of flavor. And don't forget our hearty soups and chili. Stop by or order ahead online. HerbertandGerberts.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Herbert and Gerbert's fresh ingredients on sandwiches, always bringing us Chris Schaefer's forecast.
We'll see some patchy fog form again overnight tonight, falling back to 67, 83 the high the next 2 days. Partly cloudy tomorrow, plenty of sunshine Thursday before the cold front arrives. That will trigger some rain showers from northwest to southeast, mainly falling overnight into Friday morning. How about this? Much less humid Friday. That's a victory. It'll feel like fall this weekend with highs in the low 70s.
Right now, it is partly cloudy, 83 degrees on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
No one really cares that a city council member said F Jacob Frey. I do not believe it. And I don't think you should care. 651-461-9226. We are doing it again. We love to have these decorum conversations. It allows us to weigh in on something without actually having like a real opinion about the policy. So it's so easy to wag your finger and say, oh, this Aisha Chugtai, my goodness. Saying F Jacob Frey, he's the mayor. This is outrageous. Anyone who's been paying attention to anything over the last couple of years knows that Aisha Chugtai is telling every one of her friends, telling every one of her politically aligned Democratic socialists on the city council, F Jacob Frey. So she said it out loud. And this frenzy started with the Star Tribune story. And I'm not criticizing the story. I do think I do think it's legit to say, kind of check in and say, is this what we're doing? And I would say to the Star Tribune, the answer is yes. This is what we're doing. KARE 11 published a story, Aisha Chugtai caught on tape. She posted the video to her own Instagram account. So I guess it was caught. It was a cell phone. Maybe. Who cares? Do I want my kids to be in public talking like you're going to hear in a second? No, not really. Do I know this is how most people talk? Yes. Am I disappointed in this? Well, most people's view on this is directly aligned with whether or not they support the person who's got the potty mouth. So if you like Senator Tina Smith, you loved it when she said Elon Musk was a D. If you like Tim Walz, you like when Tim Walz uses profanity. If you like Donald Trump, you like when he said that Israel and Iran don't know what the F they're doing. If you don't, you are outraged at the breakdown in decorum. What are we doing? Such a load. It's fine to have some fun and be like, look at this person. Is this a serious political person? Is this someone who really wants to work with people who disagree with her? I think what you see here is exactly what she is and exactly what she's always presented herself as. Here's what she said.
I'm running for the city council again, and today I want to talk to you about my friend, my brother, Omar Fateh, the next go-around Mamdani right here in Minneapolis. We're going to transform the city because Jacob Frey, fascism, Trump.
All right, so I personally think it's lunacy to act like Jacob Frey and Donald Trump and fascism belong in the same sentence. But you can, this is what the political world is. But are you bothered by this? Benjamin on YouTube says hearing a politician using such language makes my powdered wig flip. I just think no one really cares about this stuff. And we excuse it if it's people that we like. Now, the reason that I think it's useful for people to understand where Aisha Chugtai is coming down on the issues is that this is really what this election is about. It is a question that I think all of us face as far as deciding what we want our politics to be about. Do we want to elect people who we agree with 100% and who will go and 100% fight for those ideas and never compromise? Maybe we do. I don't, but a lot of you want that. I want compromise. I want incremental progress. I want things to get better and to change. And to do that, that means you've got to be civil to people you don't agree with. My view as to how politics should be run is not, I don't think it's the majority view. I don't. I think the majority thinks that you should fight like hell for what you believe in. And you can say F Joe Biden. I see bumper stickers that say F Biden. People brought the remember how Republicans were claiming that F Brandon nonsense?
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. Well, what was that? Oh, that's fine. And this isn't. Give me a break. It's all the same bit. And it goes to that issue. And that does offend me. This idea that what we need is 100% all in, no compromise, never back down. That I don't like. If somebody wants, somebody wants to get up there and say F Jacob Frey, what Aisha Chugtai is saying is if you elect her, she's not going to work with it. She's going to fight for her stuff. And if that surprises you, you're not paying attention. That is 100% her approach. Do I like it? No. Does it bother me? Also, no. If you have people, this is what it is. The fundamental issue is not the language. And people don't want to think about the bigger issue. People want to just get mad about the language. To me, the language is just a symptom of saying we are not in a time of working with people we disagree with. It's our team. It's our way. And yes, it's Democrat on Democrat, verbal violence. So Republicans are enjoying it and are having their fun. Why not? I do not accept that this is any sort of big deal. It is an absolute, first of all, this is how the left talks about Jacob Frey all the time. And so if you're voting for those politicians, I guess, should you be surprised by this? We were just talking about a couple of Minneapolis people who are active on Minneapolis Twitter. And this is how they talk about Jacob Frey. There's someone on X right now who's watching who's saying F Jacob Frey and posting that. And it's just like, this is how people talk about it. Blois, we had a clip from Blois Olson in the news last hour. And Blois was saying, there was conversation that we were going to turn down the temperature and rhetoric was going to be reined in. And I think that's interesting. I have to actually think about that a little bit more. I'm not 100% sure I agree with Blois.
Well, I mean, I do in the sense whether how violent this rhetoric actually is or not, you could debate it. But I think anybody who thought in the wake of those shootings that there was going to be any kind of dramatic change in the tension in politics was kidding themselves. Because there's too much at stake. We have to fight. We have to fight. I think you nailed it with that this is all about fighting. I'm not super offended by the language necessarily. I'm disappointed in the sense that this has become so normalized because it used to be that being a public leader was something to be aspiring to, that this is the kind of people you pointed to and said, kids, this is the thing that you should try to grow up to be. I don't know anybody that would point at this kind of stuff and it happens all across the spectrum and say, no, this is what we want to aspire to anymore. But I think the bigger problem you've nailed, which is, that nobody wants to work with anybody anymore. It's all about the fight. It's all about how hard can I fight for my voters and what they want, and without any compromise whatsoever, which means that, of course, nothing really of any importance gets done.
Now, Mike on social media asked me, he said, I usually agree with you, but you got this one wrong. And he as well as a couple other people have asked how I would react if Jacob Frey said this about Aisha Chugtai. And I would say, first of all, like I assume he has in private, but it would be so out of character for the way that Jacob Frey talks and handles himself that it would warrant a different type of examination. I think I would have a different reaction, not because I think it's okay for Chugtai to say this and not for Frey, but because it is predictable and in line with the rhetoric of the Democratic socialists that they don't want to work with the mayor, that they don't want to compromise, and they hate the mayor. So if you elect DSA, that's what you're getting. So maybe that's why I'm not so bothered about this, because people should know this is what you're getting. And it's up to you. It's not what I want. Drive Time, back in a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, Jason here for my friend Chris Lindahl, who here's how good of a guy Chris Lindahl is. This weekend is I'm moving Sam into the dorm. The first text I get on Sunday morning is from Chris saying, hope you're doing all right. Congratulations. Like, you made it. Chris Lindahl's a Minnesotan. He's a great guy, and he wants to help you have the lowest stress real estate transaction ever. The Chris Lindahl guaranteed cash offer. There's a reason you're seeing his face. You're seeing his arms. Maybe you're only seeing his arms and you're seeing words in the middle now. But Chris knows that he is a guarantee, helping people move through life with speed. If you want a fresh start in life, you don't have time for a house to hold you back. You don't have time to gamble on the open market. You certainly don't have time to do repairs or renovations, and you don't have time for somebody to flake out, back out, surprises, delays, all of it. I've known Chris for a long time. You see him everywhere. You can trust him. Guarantee means it. He'll get to the finish line in as little as 2 days. 2 days on a house sale. How about that? Time for a fast path to a fresh start. The time is now. Get that guaranteed cash offer and a fresh start today at chrislindahl.com.
Advantage Seamless Gutters is now Advantage Home Pros. New look, same pros. Still locally owned and now taking care of all your gutter and roofing needs. Don't spend your weekends on a ladder cleaning your gutters when you could be spending time with family and planning that summer trip. Trust your local gutter pros, Advantage Home Pros. Now your local custom roofing pros. With the highest quality workmanship and materials, our trained, knowledgeable local pros can handle it all. Trust the pros. AdvantageHomePros.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s. And less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Hey friends, I'm Sharon McMahon, host of Here's Where It Gets Interesting. Each week I speak with authors, experts, and thought leaders on everything from American history and democracy to how to be a better person on the internet. And don't miss my extremely popular docuseries, which educate you on things you never learned in history class. Follow and listen to Here's Where It Gets Interesting on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You know that feeling when you're about to cut into a juicy steak and hope it tastes as perfect as it looks? Well, worry no more. The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether on the stovetop, oven, or grill. The probe is inserted into your food and connected wirelessly to an app. Once you select your desired doneness, the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill or the turkey out of the oven. It's that simple. Order one now on chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Slow stuff in place, North 169, Valley View heading up toward Highway 55. If you're up on the north side of the metro, you're going to find your slowdowns in place, 694 eastbound from Central heading out to Highway 10, 94 westbound's jammed up, Hemlock Lane to Weaver Lake Road. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Gutman Law brings us the forecast tonight, partly cloudy, 67. If you're going to the Twins game over at Target Field, pretty nice weather for Twins and A's at 6:40. Tomorrow, 83 is the high. First day of the fair, mostly sunny, rain late, high of 83. Right now, it's 83 on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
I can ignore your kid crying on a plane the same way I ignored my kids crying. It is not that difficult. And if my kids are listening, they're like, yeah.
Oh, come on. Your kids don't listen.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let's take the current temp of your Minnesota Twins. Brought to you by Chef IQ Sense. Get your wireless meat thermometer now at chefiq.com.
The Twins are cold. Like, they had a nice win over the Tigers on Sunday.
That just happened to follow 3 straight losses, but yes.
Yeah, that's why I say they're still cold.
Yes.
They've lost 6 of their last 10. Yeah.
Unsurprisingly so. When you trade every bullpen pitcher that's worth a darn, funniest thing, when you get late in close games, you can't close them out. So
So that's the Temp. Pregame starting in just a couple of minutes here on CCO. First pitch at 6:40.
Joe Ryan experience tonight.
Yes, we love Joe. Thank goodness we got Joe. Lots of text on the language, and I do wish we could go back to an era where politicians will work with people they disagree with, but that is up to us in who we vote for. That is up to voters. And over the last 4 or 5 years, voters have decided they want fighters and they want 100% purity. And so unless we change, they're not going to change. I will say the talking point that Jacob Frey isn't willing to work with the city council. I mean, don't you want a mayor who wants to work with the city council? Well, give me a break. Like when this is what your opponents are doing.
Well, and if you're defining working with the city council as rolling over and giving them whatever they want.
That's all that is.
Yeah.
Like nobody means anything they say. That's the frustrating thing about politics. It's all just everyone's just trying to like, oh, I got him on this one. This mayor race can't be over soon enough, though. The Minneapolis people. Woof. Well, when that's over, then we'll have a governor's race, senator's race. You know what? It makes you want to watch some baseball. Listen to the Twins game right here on CCO. We'll see you tomorrow.
How long do you think it would take for your home to sell? Have you ever tried to figure that out? It's Benita here. There are some people who sell theirs within days. That's awesome. But it's all too